Hit hit you something. Go ahead.
Yeah, so every time you look at the picture on the wall, they're probably had it on. And maybe they just blocked me out. I don't know. All right. Let me go back to the app and I'll do it after.
Hi fans, this is your favorite actor. When I am in the Lafayette area, I listen. Hi fans, this is your favorite actor. When I am in the Lafayette area, I listen to the Open Line radio show with. Hi fans, this is your favorite actor. When I am in the Lafayette area, I listen to the Open Line radio show with Sister Kadisha and Brother Jay. Heard exclusively on KIEE 88.3, your superstation for South Louisiana.
The Open Line radio show is heard exclusively from 9 to 11 a.m. every Wednesday on your community superstation for South Louisiana, KIEE 88.3.
The Open Line radio show is supported in part by Finders Keepers, the place with your residential hardware needs, small engines, outdoor power equipment, bathroom accessories, electronics, lighting, plumbing and everything in between. Located in the Southern Development Office Building, at 1006 Surrey Street, Lafayette. Telephone 337-780-8149. That's Finders Keepers.
KIEE, the Louisiana Superstation, presents the community's #1 radio talk show, The Open Line. If you have an open mind.
Greetings, brothers and sisters. Welcome to the Open Line. I'm Brother Jay. I'll be here with my co-host, Sister Khadijah. Stay tuned and relax for the Open Line on KIEE 88.3, your superstation.
Good men to get together with one another. We got to iron out our problems and iron out our quarrels and try to live as brothers and try to find peace within without stepping on one another, and do respect the women of the world. Remember, you all had mothers. We gotta make this land better land than the world in which we live, and we gotta help each man be a better man with the kindness that we give. I know we can make it. I know that we can. I know darn well we can work it out. Yes, we can. I know we can. Yes, we can. Oh, why can't we if we want to? Yes, we can. I know we can make it work. I know we can make it if we try. Oh, yes, we can. I know we can. Yes, we can. We gosh, you're mighty. Yes, we can. I know we can. Children, the little children of the world, 'cause they are strongest hope for the future, the little bitty boys and girls. We got to make this land a better land than the world in which we live. We gotta help each man be a better man with the kindness that we give. I know we can make it. I know that we can. I know darn well we can work it out. Yes, we can. I know we can. Yes, we can. Why can't we if we want it? Yes, we can. I know we can make it work. I know that we can make it if we try. Yes, we can. I know we can. Yes, we can. Great gosh almighty. Yes, we can. I know we can. Darn well, we can work it out. Yes, we can. I know we can. Yes, we can. Why can't we if we want it? Yes, we can. I know we can make it work. I know we can make it if we try. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Great gosh almighty. Yes, we can. I know we can. We can make it, y'all. Oh, yeah, we can make it, y'all. Oh, if only try. Yes, we can. I know we can. Yeah, we can make it, y'all. Sometimes it's hard. Yes, we can. I know we can. Sometimes it's hard.
Yes, we can. You just got through listening to the Pointer Sisters, and that was the lead singer, Anita Pert. We like to give a great salute. The sister passed away on January 1st. A great group. Never had the privilege to see them in person, but I just want to play that song to give the community a reminder. Yes, we can if we could just all have some kind of unity in the community. I want to say this for our host, Sister Khadijah, and Attorney Dewar, other co-hosts, starting to the topic of today. I want to give a shout-out to Miss Florida Gales. Miss Florida Gales of Baldwin, Louisiana, a faithful listener, blessed to see 85 years and doing fine. Happy birthday from your grandson, Antonio. Everybody know who Antonio is, Antonio Jackson. And from the KIEE 88.3 FM, wishing you many more. Again, she's a faithful listener. Shout out to Miss Florida Gales. I'm sorry, I'm pronouncing it wrong.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear.
Okay.
Yeah, happy birthday to you.
Was that a birthday song?
Yes, indeed.
Okay. And I also want to say happy birthday to my beautiful daughter, Shantae Davis Valo.
Okay.
Okay, Shantae.
Happy birthday.
You're
Happy
coming
birthday,
into your own.
Shantae.
30 years old, man. I'm old, huh?
Oh.
Wow. You know, it's more about me, Shantae. It's more about me. Happy birthday,
You're
sis.
seasoned.
Mm-hmm. Well, Hotep Habarigani, Assalamu alaikum. I'm one of your hosts this morning with the Superstation KIEE 88.3 FM. We're going to get right down to business. Attorney Dwyer, you're looking as beautiful as ever. I'm telling you, that wardrobe you have is impeccable. So, with that being said, let's go right up into the Wills Clinic that was held this past Saturday at Attorney Dwyer office, 1030 Lafayette Street.
Correct.
All right. Whenever Attorney Dwyer and her associates say they throwing something, y'all needs to go. We had breakfast. We had I was about to say some ice cream, but we had gumbo. I mean, good. Not everybody could do gumbo. They had coloring books, colors for the children. I mean, if you missed out on it, and a lot of y'all did, I know y'all gonna regret that. So whenever Attorney Dwyer is doing something, please attend. You will enjoy it.
Absolutely. And everything was how much, Sister Khadijah?
Free.
100% free.
Favorite word, free.
Yeah, free. That's
absolutely.
Right.
So thank you for all of our volunteers. Thank you for everyone that participated.
I mean, it was fine. I thought I was just about in Chocolate City. You know, I'm like seeing all of these attorneys. attractive, intelligent, you name it. And they were there to do a service for free. So we shouldn't be hearing too much, well, oh, the black attorney's not doing nothing and stuff like that. They doing what they can do with what they have. Remember that.
Exactly. And we also had some delicious food catered by Armani Bailey, Chef Armani Bailey of Fat Boys Kitchen LA.
Yes.
It was very, very delicious. So if y'all missed it, you missed a treat.
Yes.
We are trying to put together a successions clinic for March, and we're trying to team up with AOC, maybe use some of those conference rooms.
Yes. Yes.
And see if we can get that going probably a Saturday in March. But once we get that together, we'll let y'all know. Okay. It won't be the same as the Wills Clinic. The Wills Clinic, people actually left with the will in an envelope and all of that. So for the succession clinic, it won't be the same because you won't be leaving with any pleadings or anything. It's more informational because successions are more complicated than just drafting wills.
Mm-hmm. And yes, and also to the the men and women that are going in the courts this morning and everything. Just try to stay positive. Just talk positivity into your existence, particularly the 16 JDC, all these different municipalities in court. Hopefully, the judge can either give a reduced bond reduction sentence, just do something to try to help the people out. And another thing, I wanted to give my deepest sympathy to the family members that we lost this little young 14-year-old young man and everything out of New Iberia, and we want to go ahead and
that's so horrible. We can't even protect the children.
Yeah.
And it's children killing children from this. Well, the suspect from the New Iberia City Police, who they stated is a 14-year-old that they're looking for. And the problem is this: the amount of guns that could get in the hands of young people who not attuned to it. The problem with in the state of Louisiana, the Department of Family Services has a lot of issues. There's a changeover. They can't even protect the children. So people. We have to, the community, we have to do something. When you see something, say something about something that is wrong. You know?
Oh yeah. I see something. I'm saying it. If I could find your driver's license, your license plate, your social security number, I am saying it because that don't make no sense.
And to solve these murders too.
Unsolved murder.
We got a lot of unsolved murders.
Right.
You remember the lady that was killed off a field in Corrine Street? They still haven't solved that problem, but I see they're building a big new building over there on that end. So I don't think law enforcement has been forthcoming in solving these problems, especially the ones that are in the black community. That's just from my perspective.
Now, don't let me start with law enforcement, especially in Iberia Parish. They took and they built 1.6 or 1.7. They didn't build. They used the money apparently to purchase this new facility for the sheriffs, for the Iberia Parish sheriffs and stuff like that. 1.6 or 1.7 million dollars for what? A lot of them do is just sit on their rump and just enjoy donuts to the finest form.
Donuts.
Yeah, donuts.
Don't hate on the donuts. Don't hate on the donuts. I need a donut right now.
I ain't gonna say.
So, Attorney Duarte, we brought up a subject that could probably be coming up. Child support is Sister Khadijah's favorite subject, but they seem to be listening to you because they went the opposite way what you were saying. Now they want to tack on the point. According to the article, as a new bill proposal, I don't have it in front of me to see the bill number, that they want to advance this session to penalize the men who the unborn child, meaning it's like while you're pregnant, you could be penalized for the cost. Men going to be penalized half the cost for the pregnancy. And one of the quotes I heard from the local media, if you don't have an insurance, prenatal care and services could be up to I think $18,000. But if you have insurance, it could be $3,000.
Right. So let me
do
throw out.
Do we really need another law like this? You've been in those courtrooms.
This is a lot, but before we get started, let me throw out my normal disclaimer. Any information obtained here today is strictly informational. No attorney-client relationship or privilege has formed. And, of course, if y'all need to get in contact with me, my number is 337-534-4020. Once again, 337-534-4020. So, yes, back to this bill. This is House Bill number 5. Let's see, by State Rep Larry Freeman. Let's see, and the article says it was pre-filed Thursday. Let's see. A particular interest in Louisiana where there is a near total abortion ban. The only exceptions to the ban are if there is substantial risk of death or impairment to the patient if they continue with the pregnancy, and in the case of medically futile pregnancies when the fetus has a fatal abnormality. No exceptions for rape or incest. But what the article is talking about, under this bill, the mother would have to sue the father before the child turns 2, and only if the paternity of the child has been proved by clear and convincing evidence. So they're basically asking to recover 50% out-of-pocket pregnancy-related medical expenses from the father of the child. What do you think about this, Sister Khadijah?
Oh, and you know what? I can't really say what I really feel, but I hope you could tell in my voice. I'm so pissed off with them. It's unreal. It's like anything and everything against our men, they will come up for. You know, I don't recollect nobody trying to either get no type of compensation when it came down to all of these former presidents or to all these other people that raped and made children with our young girls and young women, you know. And now all of a sudden you want to be compensated.
Since this is a community and a legal discussion, let me play the devil's advocate.
Okay, be careful.
Yes, ma'am. Wow.
I'm scared for you. Be
starting
careful.
out in January. Wouldn't it be practical that to ensure that the child has a normal situation within the womb, that that person get proper prenatal care, yes, with having funds to have access, and the mother might be coming out of her pocket to pay for the pregnancy, and it's almost like it should be a thing where two people who participated in the act of having sex and fathering and or nurturing, getting pregnant, that should be responsible. That's what they're saying. But my perspective, personally, I was just playing advocate, right?
Yeah.
Would be that we have a situation where the political winds saying that certain races are having less children and certain other races are having more children. So it might be one of those political things. We don't know, but we got to go look deep inside of it.
Very interesting. So there's another proposal, similar bill by Rep. Mike Johnson, introduced the Unborn Child Support Act, which would make it possible for pregnant mothers to collect child support starting at the moment of conception. And see, it says the bill never made it to the U.S. House floor for debate, but Johnson plans on reintroducing it this season. Thoughts on this one?
At the moment of conception?
Correct.
Sometimes you don't even know that you've conceived. Sometimes you could miss different parts of your body for months. I don't see how that's going to work.
I don't either, unless they're trying to say that it would be retroactive to when a person, but then I don't know.
But you know
then
what?
You don't know that either, because you can go to the doctor and the doctor can say potentially this is the day, this is the gestational period and all of that, but I don't know. It's a lot. And not only that, how do you know that this is actually the father? So
right.
What would have to happen is there would have to be a DNA test. You can do a DNA test while the child is in the womb, but I mean that's more invasive. Right. That's very
and that's very invasive. And exactly. Then not only that, but remember, and he passed away. May he rest in peace. What's his name? The basketball player, Kobe. Remember Kobe? Kobe Bryant. That girl had accused Kobe Bryant of rape, and when they started doing the assessment on her and going and doing what they needed to do to remove what's supposed to be a rape. She was with 4 other men, 3 to 4 other men within that same day. You know, I'm thinking that it's more than that. I'm gonna have to find out.
Sister, and we gonna come back. It's Sister Khadijah. The conversation is about to get off the chain, but we have a representative of the ACLU to tell us about the big news that could be happening in Lafayette, Louisiana. And we were down there, Sister Khadijah, you and I, with the United States Department of Justice and the Louisiana ACLU, Alana Odoms. We have Miss Anaya on the phone. I'm sorry, Miss Anaya on the phone to tell us more about the information. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Anytime.
Oh, thank you. It's so good to see you again. We'll hear from you again, Sister Khadijah.
Yes, baby.
Yeah, so I'm just going to share a little bit about the DOJ's town hall that's happening in Lafayette. So some folks may know that the Department of Justice recently launched an investigation into the Louisiana State Police. And a really important part of the investigation is hearing directly from community members. And so the DOJ, they already hosted a community town hall in New Orleans back in October where Sister Khadijah was in attendance. And so now they'll be in Lafayette on January 24th at the Downtown Convention Center at 7 p.m. to hear from folks in the Lafayette area. And so how it's going to go is first, they're probably going to just do an overview, just kind of sum up the investigation and what all they're looking to cover in the investigation. And then they will probably take questions from people in the audience. And they will also have investigators on hand to speak with people who've had experiences with the Louisiana State Police. And something else that I just want to emphasize, we know that there is a real fear of retaliation for speaking out against law enforcement. And we know that a lot of folks might not feel comfortable speaking about police misconduct in a public place. And so if folks want to attend and, you know, they don't want to talk in public, or if they would just rather not attend at all, you can also confidentially email DOJ at community.louisiana@usdoj.gov, or you can call 202-353-0684. And so that's if you do want to attend, but you don't want to share your story, or you can't attend at all. Those are 2 ways you can contact DOJ. But we really are looking forward to seeing members of the community in Lafayette on January 24th at 7 p.m.
Yes, indeed. And we've been announcing it. We've been announcing, as a matter of fact, this past Saturday, we done a show with this lady, Miss Martarin, asking for help. She was asking for help for her son, who is incarcerated under some, I have to talk proper, that's incarcerated under some idiotic BS, you know, and she was on the show. And Brother Jay, we need to share that show with the attorney. But my point is that, hey, it's nothing wrong with you coming out and talking. We're supposed to talk. Our power is the only thing we have when it comes down to this system. So I'm looking forward to seeing it completely packed. New Iberia, y'all should have front row. St. Martinville, y'all right there. Lafayette, Jeanneret, Morgan. We all need to be there.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
And I'm sorry. And having I don't know if we're gonna have the same format that we had in at Dillard. You guys gonna have the same format where they're going to have the panel sit down and listen to people who might want to speak about some issues?
Yes, we do think that there will be time for people to stand up and, you know, share their story with the wider audience if that's what they want to do.
Yes, yes.
Well, I know I'm gonna be one of the first one again.
I love that. I love that so much. And another point that I want to raise is that the ACLU of Louisiana, we have a really robust policing program. We try to really think about policing from all angles, not just litigation, but also community empowerment. And so we will have staff on hand in Lafayette on January 24th at this town hall, and we'll also have some information that's basically about know your rights on police interactions in both English and Spanish. So we'll have that information for folks. And, you know, we just know that it's, you know, sometimes police, they don't always de-escalate situations in the way that they should. And, you know, that burden should not have to fall on community members. But we also know that you can't assume that officers are going to behave in the way that they should. So we'll have that information for people if they're looking for that at the town hall.
Yeah, I have to salute you guys because the work you're doing with policing and the Justice Lab, the number of lawsuits or suits suits you have filed against unfair practices by local law enforcement jurisdictions. I want people while you're on the phone to understand that you guys have done some yeoman work over the years, and we appreciate under the executive director of Elena Odoms that. Go to their website, go to the Louisiana ACLU website. You can see all the number of cases in your backyard here in the Lafayette area that you don't even know about what's been going on with policing. And one of the things Sister Khadijah and I have been working on, and others in the activist community, is trying to find out how can we advance a bill in the State House for a database of bad law enforcement.
Crooked policemen.
Yeah. You mean they got some legalese for that, but, you know, we like to have a database. And it doesn't have nothing to do with privacy laws. It has to do with knowing who's going to have who's going to stand over the power of life and death when you're on the side of the road and late at night. So.
Absolutely. And I know I'm probably hitting my time a little bit, but first, I really just have to commend our legal department because, you know, they really are the ones who have been working with law firms to get those suits filed. And, you know, I'm just really proud to say that they've been able to file almost 50 civil rights suits. And a good number of them, like you said, Brother Jay, they're based in the Lafayette area. And so you can definitely find out more information about the Justice Lab work if you go to aclujusticelab.org. And I also, I can reach out to you offline because there is actually a database like that does already exist. So I'll send you a little bit more information about that as well. It's still kind of in the works.
There's a database that exists of that?
Yes, but I just need to do a little bit more digging about it because I'm not exactly sure how many agencies it actually covers. But I can send you an email about that later on today.
Okay. Caller, you have a question or comment?
Yes, I got a comment today since you're talking about justice. Look, today at 2 o'clock, Ask the Governor comes on 89.3, John Bell Edwards. I can't call him anymore because they didn't block my number for asking about the Ronald Green case, but it's up to the public to call in today at 2 o'clock. Every third Wednesday of the month on 89.3 is a white radio station. John Bell asked the public to call him about questions, and I heard y'all saying that a lot of things y'all didn't know. He's a governor who participated in the Ronald Green murder. Please call this man and ask him why was these charges dropped to obstruction and not the highest murder charge? Because we watched this man on video get killed and murdered by 5 state troopers.
Yes.
And now 2 of them don't want to release their so-called pay, but yet still call Cavalier, the guy who took it up to Hearts, gets fired by another black man. And yet still it's all right to fire this black man for keeping his oath to the black people. But here these 5 white guys break their oath, murder a man. And John Bell Abbott covers it up for him to get reelected, and us as black people don't say nothing. Look at our black politicians. Y'all talking about issues with the people. Why isn't there any black politician calling in to give y'all the answers that y'all need? Well, could there be something to re-tax us or to get us a vote for them? They'll be calling in the dozens. And it's up to black people to wake up and realize this. And look, I'm talking to white people too, because their politicians are screwing them around too. But the us as black people got to stop picking these fake leaders because they're politicians or call themselves pastors. And when it comes time to helping the people, their leniency is towards the politicians. And answer me another question. Why is the NAACP not a platform to politics? This black president that you just hired a couple of months ago is not running for state rep. We cannot be so say being a part of the system and we're trying to fight the system.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. We're gonna go ahead and try to answer some of the. But what was the telephone number to call John Bell Edwards on that radio station? All right, Miss Elena. Anala. Go ahead.
I'm here. Call us so passionate.
Yes. You can go ahead.
Yes, yeah. Thank you so much for raising what happened to Mr. Green. You know, we're really fortunate to have a close relationship with his mother, Miss Mona. Yeah. And, you know, he should still be alive today. Yes. And I mean, that's really, I don't really think there's anything else to say about that. And yeah, but I did find the database that conducts. It has data on police misconduct. It's called the Louisiana Law Enforcement Accountability Database. And the website is llead.co. And what it does is it holds personnel and police misconduct files on use of force and other data sets from over 500 law enforcement agencies all across Louisiana. There's about 12,000 allegations of misconduct. And so if you go to that website and if you do a little digging, you'll be able to see what's going on in some of these different agencies. And that was made by our friends at the Innocence Project New Orleans. They created this database that covers police misconduct statewide.
They must have a lot on Iberia Parish. I got to see this.
Yes, ma'am. I can email you the link.
Okay.
Great. Just email it to the one that we communicated with.
Okay, that's gonna work. Yeah, and we looking and we're really excited about that. We're so excited about that at this meeting that we're not even worried about no kind of food. I mean, we could probably have some water, but hey, you just got to come out there to see and feel the pain that so many of our people have gone through. And we want to thank y'all. Thank y'all so much for helping us out.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And on behalf of the ACLU, thank you for the work that y'all do.
Okay. All right. Yes, indeed. And Brother Jay?
Thank you so much.
All right. So you heard it first. You heard it first right here that the U.S. Department of Justice Town Hall is January the 24th at 7 p.m. at the Downtown Convention Center. That's 124 South Buchanan Street. 124 South Buchanan Street. And the phone number is 202-353-0684. But I'm a
That's
periodically
a
on my
first.
show. That's a first.
That's a first for something like this to happen in the state of Louisiana.
Okay. You have a question or a comment, caller?
Yes, it's a question and comment. Last week, this policeman was given back his job. They showed a video on Channel 10 about him. Say the guy was verbally abusing him,
and
he was given his job plus back pay.
Yeah.
But with me sitting in my living room, I didn't see the man doing anything wrong.
No. He was handcuffed behind his back, and he was telling the officer something and stuff like that, and the officer got mad. The officer didn't want him to say jack anything, and the officer just came and just pushed him. And you had to be a really fine detective to go ahead and push a man in handcuffs. You are really a proud specimen of what we call, I can't say.
Use of force.
Yes.
Yeah, and as a citizen, is disturbing that the Lafayette Fire and Civil Service Board should give him his job back, and this is why the ACLU is coming to Lafayette upon the recommendation. You remember we talked directly to the Department of Justice to come to Lafayette, and you could hear those stories. And again, at the end of the day, nothing might not come out of the town hall meeting, but it might bring some courage to our people to speak up and speak out. So my opinion, that Fire and Civil Service Board is not doing what is supposed to be, standing up to the discipline of officers. And it actually caused one of the African-American who sits on the board to resign. So it's a whole lot of drama behind that Civil Service Board. So what is the purpose of having a Fire and Civil Service Board, and it's only being an advocate for the law enforcement as opposed to the citizens of Lafayette? And even other people could take examples from that.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to say something, but go ahead, caller. You have a question or a comment?
Yeah, it's going to be quick. Let's blame Kenneth Boudreaux, who didn't have to resign, but took the choice of resigning once they gave him some kind of deal. Now the biggest thing is y'all talk about all kind of people, but I never hear y'all talk about the black politicians who need to be giving the community answers to why this injustice keeps going on when they come and get our endorsement to go fight for the people. And what they do, they don't say nothing when it's time to say nothing. Because I remember the guy, Glenn Lazard, I asked him, how could they find money for a dog pound and couldn't find money to help the communities?
Well, yeah, Mr. Glenn Lazard.
And why they found money to build another prison on the black side of town, but yet still can't find money to put homes for the homeless?
Yes.
These are the kind of things that we need to ask the black politician. Why are they so quiet? Why are they so afraid to talk for the people? We don't want voted them in to go represent the people.
Okay.
Not misuse the people.
Okay, caller, what is the number to call for to ask John Bell the question? What is the number?
Several numbers. I only got the one from the morning show that on Jim Eastern, but you can go online. You can see Ask a Lawyer on 89.3. Okay. He comes on at 2 o'clock. Like I said, I cannot call anymore because they blocked my number because I asked too much important questions. But I want the public and the people to call the so-called governor and ask them about why the justice is still being injustice through the system.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So go online, you'll see 89.3 at 2 o'clock is ask the governor what's going on in your community.
Okay.
Hopefully y'all don't get blocked by asking them the right questions.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We need to address that because that's one reason why we had a Martin and one reason we had a Malcolm. You see, at that particular time, before Martin really became conscious, Martin would have let you slap him. Malcolm would have said, we're not even going to clown with that. So you need to have spark. You need to have passion when it comes down to our elected official. And Mr. Glenn Lazard, it's scheduled to be on, and the 10 o'clock, 10:05 hour, Brother G.
Yes.
Today? Yeah, this morning. Yeah.
Sometimes things happen, we can't get the guests in. Look, I want another legal issue that's popping up on radar that's immediate. There's the Lafayette LCG is planning to introduce an ordinance to ban alcohol sales after midnight during Mardi Gras. Now, one of the business owners downtown Lafayette, matter of fact, this is a nice business across from AOC. She was in, you could go as public record on KLFY website. She actually is kind of upset about whether or not if they're going to introduce this ordinance because she's going to lose money. What is the purpose of letting people get their liquor license and when other people are going to probably be able to do it in other parts of the parish, and her business is going to suffer immediately in downtown Lafayette, and so she's going to lose a lot of money because most of the time you're making your money doing the times of Mardi Gras. So it's some hypocritical stuff going on, for my opinion, if you read into. And I agree with this, with the young lady that she's going to lose.
Absolutely. And what she was saying in the article is there are other ways that they can justify the means to the end. They can put out more police presence, things like that, if they're worried about safety. So.
Yeah, that's troubling. All these things continue to happen, and it's a business in the African American community that wants to strive, and part of the celebration is liquor sales. I mean, I can understand where they're coming from, about liquor, but if you're a business that's supposed to serve liquor and especially make the peak of your money on a holiday, I mean, why penalize businesses like that?
Yeah, that's the truth. I don't drink liquor no more.
No more? No more. That's a song.
Yes, indeed. Caller, you have a question or a comment? You're on. Caller. Anytime.
Turn your radio down. We can't hear you.
Anytime this morning. Okay, we can't hear you.
Hello?
Yes, turn your radio down. Anytime this morning, we're at your disposal.
Well, caller, we're going to have to take you off the air until you get it right.
It's too much. It's too much,
you got some feedback.
Yeah.
Into the board.
All right. Oh yeah, it's a lot of feedback, and we can't hear on the feedback. With you talking on the feedback, and so back to this child support case. They want to go ahead and do They listen to you
too much. They listen to you too much, and they went the opposite way. Why would he come up? But the thing, why would you come up with a bill in a state that's already suffering economic deprivation? Yes, you got the word, sister. You would want to find out how we can come together and study the whole thing, study the economic base in the state of Louisiana, and who's paying the cost of these laws, because it turns into from a civil to a criminal matter in no time, right, attorney?
Yeah, it definitely can.
And when you look at these laws, that's all men that's doing laws for women. I mean, no, they're not doing it for women. That's all men that's doing laws. It doesn't.
Khadijah, they're saying the state of Louisiana has to pay one way or another, and these.
Why don't the state of Louisiana stop these multi-billion-dollar companies from being tax exempt, starting with the Saints, starting all of them?
No.
Yeah.
Not Saints.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Yeah, you're right, sister. I mean, you're right. I kid you not. But Louisiana is suffering from a lot. I mean, just look at the statistics. I'm not the purveyor of bad news, but the statistics are there. They cannot lie. We have to figure out to uplift Louisiana on the economic level before we can start making more laws to put more economic burden on everybody.
Yes, caller, you have a question or a comment?
Hello.
Oh yes. Good morning. Question or a comment?
Hello. I have a question.
Okay, you on?
I would like to ask the attorney, as a private citizen, do you need an attorney to file a civil suit complaint against another person?
I mean, I would always advise y'all to have an attorney because, of course, we go to law school for this. We pass a bar. We have bar roll numbers. Y'all don't know the ins and outs of the laws and all of that. You have people that file stuff on their own, but I wouldn't recommend it.
You heard us.
Okay.
You heard her.
Okay.
Who you filing? Who you filing against? Is it just an individual?
Well,
or a company?
No, it's a person, an individual have done something to me,
Okay, a man
And
or a woman.
I guess Iberia Parish don't want to prosecute him, so
Oh, okay.
I guess my only recourse would be filing a civil suit against them.
Oh.
Okay, gotcha. So it was something that was criminal, and they didn't accept the charges. So now you want to file a civil suit? That's what sounds like you said.
Right.
They didn't accept the charges. Did they tell you why they didn't accept the charges? If indeed,
No, ma'am. They didn't explain anything.
They threatened your life. You're the one that called the police, correct?
Right.
I'm familiar with your case. Yes, indeed.
Well, the two guys jumped me, and I have medical bills, and
you need to
it seems like the prosecutor do not want to. I even have an attorney, and there's nothing being done about that. So I guess they sent me a letter yesterday, and they said they're not going to prosecute it.
They're not going to prosecute it. You know what? You need to come to that DOJ town hall meeting, because they need to be.
I'm here. Yes, ma'am.
They need to be able to hear things like that, coming from the community, because that was, they whipped you. They fought with you and stuff, and you're the one that called the police in there, and now they're the one that's refusing to take the charges. Go get it, 16 JDC. But you need to come. You need to come on the. I'm gonna see you then.
I'll be there.
All right, and have a written.
Thank you.
And have a written statement. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I've met him several times and stuff like that, and I found it hard to believe that they didn't even. He plainly had injuries and stuff like that, and not one man. It was the man. It was the son and the father. Don't let me get worked up. Right. And they use their favorite type of wording, the ends and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So, back to child support.
That particular bill, because, we got to deal with this. That's a separate issue. That bill hasn't been written into law yet. Right. It's just a proposal. And they filed this early. Apparently, it was put together probably last year. And you would hope that someone in Louisiana legislative body would understand that this, I'm being biased again. But
ain't nothing wrong with being biased. The truth of the matter, you file the bill, you have to get so many of these, of your representatives to support the bill in order for the bill to go to the next floor. Mm-hmm. Correct? Right. And then when it go to the next floor, don't they have hearings? Right. I think some women need to, when it's time to have that hearing on that bill by Representative Larry Freeman.
But you're going to have in the same breath, you're going to have women piling up on the other side saying that's a good thing. And
that's a good thing.
This is the thing. Dangle a carrot, and I'm not dissing the issue about women. I'm coming from a male perspective that a lot of women go feel, you made the baby. But, people now don't have no responsibility when it comes to having sex.
Correct.
Lately. That's a thing.
And if I wasn't a criminal, when we conceive our child together, I still should not be a criminal.
So you should agree that it should be just a civil matter, as opposed to more.
I don't even think we need to have these people in our business like that. But to those,
but somebody got to pay for the baby.
For those fathers that don't, sometimes they don't even know who the baby daddy is. Okay. For those callers that don't,
it's all of that. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Really fix Louisiana problems.
They need to go ahead.
I think it's another political thing concerning the number of people being born in certain populations, as opposed to really care about the economic situation.
Right, minimum wage needs to be $15 or $20. That's what the Walmart people have been saying. Caller,
prices of eggs are high.
Yes, I'm on.
Go ahead with your question or comment, ma'am.
Oh, yes. This involves child support. My nephew, he did everything right. The only thing is the girl wanted a medical card, so they had to do a DNA test. And the child came out not being his. But in the meantime, he signed the birth certificate. And he's still paying child support on a child that's not his.
That's not
What could he do about that?
That's not right. And I've heard so many cases like that, and that's why we last in everything that's good and first in everything that's negative. Attorney, that would be your
right. So this is what happened. So even though they found out that that's not his child, there's still an order in effect, and that order has to be followed until it's revoked. So there's a proceeding called the revocation of active acknowledgement of paternity. He needs to get an attorney to do it, where you're basically filing pleadings saying that this is not my child. You know, I need my name taken off the birth certificate. I need the child's last name changed to the mother's maiden name. And most importantly, I need the child support terminated. So that's what needs to happen. Because until he does that, there's still an order that's in effect.
Yes, because the child is 10 years old right now.
Right. So he needs to do that ASAP.
He needs to do that.
The longer he does not do that, the more child support is accruing.
That's right. And
will he be able to get that money back from her?
He won't be able to get that money back. And that's something that's through the state, right?
Yes.
Yeah, see, the state has provisions in place where they are exempt from, you know, anything like that. They don't have to give the money back, all of that kind of stuff. But he needs to get that done as soon as possible.
So he's not even interacting with the child. You know, he's just paying child support.
Right, I got you. So he needed that done like last year. He needs to do that as soon as possible.
But don't look like the lawyer did nothing for him.
Evidently not. And you got to get you a good lawyer. You're hearing one right here. You know, let me throw out my disclaimer. Anything I see.
You see.
We hear you. We definitely hear you. But you need to get another attorney and stuff like that.
They're paying all that big money,
but listen, this is why I stress the importance of a DNA test. I talk about this all the time. You said that he didn't find out about that until they did a DNA test because the state want their money. That's what that was about. So I always advise y'all to get a DNA test at the beginning, and you won't have these issues at the end. Because again, women lie, men lie. Get a DNA test.
Paula?
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Paula.
All right. And you know what? And that's what's so good about the open line, because you hear stories that you ordinarily would not hear on a regular radio program. Caller, you have a question or comment? You're on.
Yes, I have a comment.
Then
I'll get a question in.
Good morning, Coach.
My comment to you guys is, if I heard y'all correctly, Brother Jay, then I got a question is this. What if the mother miscarried the baby and this law was passed already and you've been charging the so-called father that probably is still not proven that he is the dad? But my point is, what happens if the mother miscarries the child and the child does not survive? You've been making somebody pay money for something.
And that's a good question.
They already do things like that. They already do.
Do y'all understand what I'm saying?
We absolutely understand. That's a good question. That's why we said it's a lot to it. We said that earlier. Like, what if they don't carry the baby to term? Like, it's a lot. But this is not a law yet. This is just a pre-file bill.
One last thing. When we see our elected officials write bills that become laws, and we see they are not right, what do you do when you see that it is not right, but it is now a law? I just think we just went through King's Holiday. And the one thing that I want to say to us is what I just said. What do you do when it's a law, but it's not right? And then the last thing I want to say is when we don't listen to one and other, it's detrimental to our progression. Because you look around the country, and a lot of times we are not listening to each other. If you're listening to one another, you would see it in the action of another. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, Coach, you was right on point. Yeah, right. You had like 30 seconds to wrap it up, and you actually did.
And keep in mind, the state of Louisiana writes laws on average every session. This last session was close to 700 bills. I mean, really?
Really?
Really. And we don't have any concept or why they come up with these laws. And we don't know who's advancing these ideas to these legislative bodies. I think there's no transparency in that.
Right, but to answer the question, I mean, you're always able and available to go down there and lobby. That's one option.
And it's true. And a lot of people don't want to probably busy in their life. And the whole going to Baton Rouge, it's not as easy from an everyday person to go make the trip to. I think they should be having more. I know they have the channel where they have the feed from on Louisiana Public TV, but it's still not.
One moment, caller.
There's still not a lot of information being put out by them when they come up with the idea of having a bill. Was there a need for this bill right here? Apparently, the state of Louisiana has a lot of money in their coffers, but so they're saying they're losing money to the Department of Health and Resources.
It's just,
who knows, like, where these bills come from?
Right, because it's just another tactic against the black man. Caller, you have a question or a comment?
Comment.
You're on.
This is Eleanor from St. Martinville, Louisiana.
How you doing?
Calling with information for the public. We're having a meeting on January 23rd. The NAACP Legal Defense Fund and Educational Fund are coming for a discussion with about the St. Martin Parish desegregation case. We're speaking out against the school board's plan. We're sharing concerns of the board's plan to reopen Catahoula Elementary, and we're the NAACP and LDF are asking black parents to come so they can discuss working on a plan that would be feasible for our kids, because at this point, if the school is open, which the school board has proposed to have it reopen, they're going to be busing kids from across the bayou, which would be Catahoula Highway, West River Street, the right-hand side, Lobby Street, Longfellow, Buchanan Street, Landry Road, Choppy Cave, Pine Alley Drive, Banker Road, Taylor Drive, Francis Lou, Burton Plantation, also Cemetery Street, the left-hand side of the road, Gertrude Street, Margaret Harrow Street, Duran Street, Elmer Street, Roosevelt, Henry Clay Street,
all the St. Martinville,
Silver Street, Beltair Drive, Crystal Street, Chuck Street, Kirk Street, Joe Street, and the street there's a street that leads there. Also, those kids on that street will also be zoned for Catahoula. So we need to hear from those parents. We need to hear from parents, black parents of kids in St. Martinville, because they are proposing a magnet school, and we need to discuss those things. That meeting will be on January 3rd, 6:30 p.m.
I thought you said January.
Baptist Church,
Eleanor, is the meeting? The meeting is January the 23rd, right? Not the 3rd.
Yes, ma'am. 23rd.
Okay. All right. We want to invite you to come in next Wednesday at 10:05, so you could have ample time to discuss what it is that's actually going on. And so if you can agree to coming in next Wednesday at 10:05, or even if you want to call in, we would give you ample time to talk about the situation in St. Martinville with what's going on with our babies.
Yes, I sure will.
Okay. And so you want us to put you down, Brother Jay? Okay.
Yes, ma'am, that's fine.
Okay. All right. We're going to see you at 10:05 next week.
All right. Sounds great. Thanks.
Thank you so much. And shout out to Ma Buck. She's listening online. Also, people, you're listening on Facebook and YouTube, and also on AOC Community Media. That's Cox 15 and LUS Channel 3. Shout out to our media partners.
Okay, so as it stands, our callers are some of the most educated, passionate callers, and we want to thank y'all for that. We want to let you know that you missed out on a good wills clinic that Attorney Joie and their associates gave out this past Saturday. And but like she stated that they're going to be doing something sometime in March, most likely partnering up with AOC.
AOC.
Yeah, because a secession takes so many different steps.
Yeah. And again, people take advantage of these platforms. Please support these platforms here at 88.3 FM. When you see the logo somewhere, give it a shout out. And AOC Community Media to have the show. Now they're airing the replays of the shows, and let alone the live broadcast every Wednesday.
Right.
They're airing the midnight shows over there at AOC.
Okay. And then, one sister asked me, "Well, Khadijah, your hair was so nappy. Why you didn't comb your hair or something?" And I'm like saying, "Look, nobody paying us to do this. We volunteer to do that. So whenever I'm gonna get a budget, I'll go to some. And then I love my natural. I love my
your hair is beautiful.
Yeah, that's what
shame on you for saying that, ma'am.
Yes,
and I got blamed for putting the camera on everybody. So okay, all right.
Yes, indeed. And what we want to do, we try to be mindful, respectful. That's how we are with each other. Whether we have disagreement or not, we are mindful. We'll take it behind the door.
It's all about community.
It's all about community. That's right. It's not about us individually. It's community.
Even though we share our opinions all the time. We interrupt the lawyer, too.
Okay, caller, you're the last caller. You're the last caller.
Good morning. How you guys doing? This is Miss Frida from Generat.
Oh, how you doing, my sister?
I'm doing awesome. Y'all sounding good, and y'all giving some good information. And thanks to Attorney Joie for always going on.
You're welcome.
He does an awesome job with you guys.
Yes.
So this is what I want to know. When y'all gonna it's 2023. When are y'all gonna try to act some elected officials? People that can answer a lot of questions.
Well,
y'all call us when they gonna come on, y'all.
We're gonna have one in the next segment about something concerning New Iberia. We're just waiting on the call, and we have Mr. Glenn Lazar was scheduled. I don't know, might be some constraints on him right now.
No, he's coming in. He's at another meeting, but I couldn't clarify because I didn't hear. But yep, Mr. Lazar gonna be in at 10:10.
Okay, I will be listening.
Okay.
All right, thank you, baby.
Thank you guys for all y'all do.
All right, thank you. And that seems to be a whole lot of compliments that we get when it comes down to the open line. But not only that, some people try to. When I say try to chastise it, they'll come to you and they'll tell you, "Well, you was hard on Mr. Broussard, but wasn't hard on Mr. Coach, Brother Coach, whatever." They'll go ahead and they'll do that and stuff. And I'm like saying, look, it's equal opportunity.
Who's that person?
Right, it's equal opportunity. Caller, you have a question or a comment?
Hey, how you doing? That's my friend.
Yes.
You remember Big Robbie? You remember him?
Yes.
Yeah. How you? Could you play "Loving You" by the OJ's?
Oh, well, look, I'm not on doing record music right now, but I'll play it for you Friday.
Okay, what you doing right now?
We on the open line, and we doing our program.
All right. That sounds like a setup call.
Okay,
bye. You'll get you in some trouble, Sister Khadijah. What you doing? Yeah, the camera's on her, y'all. You can see what she's doing. She's not pulling her hair today. Yes.
Caller, you have a quick question or a comment?
Yeah, that was something that I hope y'all recorded, and in the future, years from now, I hope y'all replay that. That was our brother in his natural, talking to you, Sister Khadijah, in your natural. That's how it is sometimes.
Yes.
All the love was in that, boy. I enjoyed that.
She looking good on camera.
Call
me and see what you're doing.
Since we just beginning in January and Black History Month is next month.
Every day.
How about you guys begin calling our black officials in Baton Rouge, the ones that are local. Call our state reps. Call Pierre. Call Boudreaux. And invite them to come and speak to us and talk to us about the state of our blackness.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Well,
and here's the thing. We do invite it. Matter of fact, I go out on a limb and I invite national leaders from the state of Louisiana. We had Ted James. I can name all the people we brought on the radio. Cleo Fields. We brought a whole bunch of people. But most of the time, they do not take me up on my offer. And maybe it's because the nature of the way we do the open line that they won't come. Because you have to be honest on this show because the caller's going to keep you honest.
Well, and not only that, but calling.
Yes, I'm trying to get Sister Khadijah's number. I need to call a personal call.
Okay. Let me get your number.
Well, you getting too many personal calls on this radio
That's
show.
the
Sister
second
Khadijah.
personal call.
Yes. Attorney, you got to draw up some rules for the next show. But
absolutely. And let us know what else y'all would like. I'm thinking also maybe later in the year, maybe an expungement clinic. We'll see about that.
Expungement, that's certainly something that that's important.
And like I said, well, Mr. Lazard is going to be here. He's running a little late from the meeting.
Okay.
But he's going to be here. They could ask questions to Mr. Lazard. Caller, you have a brief question or comment?
Hi, this is Councilwoman Dee Johnson Reed.
Yes.
I was calling in to the show.
From New Iberia, yes.
Go ahead, Miss Reed.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hold on 1 second. I'm just going to pass a couple of people in.
Oh, we doing...
Call back. I think she was going to give us an update. Wow. I think she was going to give us an update. Yeah. Certainly, there's a lot of things going on in 2023 with there could be a number of elected races going on in the city of Lafayette and the parish and also in other parts of this area. Now is the time to go on, if you got access to the internet, go and review the bills that will be advanced this year. Don't wait until Sister Khadijah notices there's another sanction on child support, and she gonna make her job much harder to inform people because she got so much information to be talking about when we find out there's a bill, because Sister Khadijah spurred them to do that bill.
No,
I think they got upset because you talked about it so much.
Well, caller, you have a question or a comment, but what I'm just trying to say, we got to stop criminalizing.
Sister Khadijah, this is Miss Frida. I only have a comment. Our brother Jay and Attorney Dwyer, you got you some top fans this morning.
Yes.
Oh,
thank you.
Thank you.
Power to you, Sister Khadijah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, thank you.
Ooh. Yeah, they're going to spare, I set this up, but no, all I'm trying to do is just to say is that, we all equal here. It's no way that the man, we were consensual, we made the baby. I'm not too sure if it's my baby, his baby, me, you, me, he, what we going to do with the baby. M. Tooman, that's a song. Carly, you have a quick question or comment?
I think you're
on. Oh, shoot. You're on?
Hi, this is Councilwoman Dee Johnson Reed again. I'm sorry about the last.
That's okay.
Get disconnected.
Okay. You're on. When you try to switch over or include, it cuts you off.
Okay. Well, I think I have everybody on the line right now.
All right. Y'all, go ahead.
So, hi, this is Councilwoman Dee Johnson Reed, and I have on the line with me Ashley Orff, who's our Secretary at Downtown Neighborhood Association, and Bryson Hippolyte, who's our President of the organization. And we want to share some information with the public today. Bryson, go ahead.
Yes, hello, everyone. My name is Bryson Hippolyte, President of Downtown Neighborhood Association. And this coming weekend, Saturday at 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., we will be hosting the registration for weatherization of people's homes in the community of the downtown neighborhood area and any surrounding area of the New Iberia residents as well. We're inviting people to come out to pretty much help save. Well, weatherization is designed to help save energy costs on your home, so your home could operate more cost effectively and more efficiently.
And what time is this, and where is it at?
Yeah, so the time of the event is from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. and the sign-up destination point will be the Masonic Hall on Ann Street, New Iberia, Louisiana, in the downtown neighborhood community.
Okay, all right, and that's for weatherization of people home. You have to bring your identification, proof of income, or it doesn't matter?
No, so we will need card, which is like a driver's license or an ID, also Social Security information, and we will also need proof of income of the people that's living inside of the home that you're applying for.
Okay, all right. You need all of that, and you're gonna have
bills with them.
Go ahead.
They also need to bring their utility bills with them, like their light and the gas, water bill.
Yeah, correct.
Utilities bill. Okay, and what is the cap that you're doing when it comes down to weatherization of the home?
Can you repeat that?
The cap, is it going to be like $1,000 on one home?
No. So this is Mount Community Action, and I'm sorry, St. Mary Community Action, and on average they spend about $6,500 per house.
Okay,
this
that's
is a
great.
program where you don't even have to get your own contractors. They will send their contractors out there, and their contractors will do the work for you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And how long this program? Is a certain time limit the program could go on?
No, they usually keep taking applications until the money runs out.
Okay.
And the reason why we're doing this is because the state of Louisiana received an additional $30 million to weatherize homes in Louisiana. And so we want to take advantage of that and help people to fill out the applications so that they can get their houses weatherized. I mean, they will do a lot of work in the houses. They will fix windows. They will fix air conditioners, heaters, all of those things.
Yes. Yes, I'm familiar with the St. Mary Community Action Agency.
So-
They have done some great work.
So that's for all of our Southwest Louisiana?
That's right. Mostly Iberia and St. Mary and
said they got
Vermilion.
some money.
And Vermilion.
Lafayette and other places would be.
So the money is for all of the state of Louisiana. The $30 million is going to be spread throughout the state of Louisiana.
Okay.
We're just trying to make sure that our people get their fair share.
Okay, the telephone number. What's the telephone number to reach y'all?
I'm actually our FADE board secretary, and I can give out my number as a person of reach if anyone needs information on what they need to bring that day. My number is 337-255-8099. I'm also providing that information for anyone who would like to volunteer that day to assist us with crowd control, application processing, because as you all know, it takes a village, right? And we're a small group, but we're always welcome to helping hands to assist us in doing the work that we do within our community.
Okay, and the address is
Again, that's I think it's the Mason.
the Mason Building. That's downtown. New Iberia.
Arlene.
Huh?
The Masonic is on the corner of Ann and Arlene.
Okay, Masonic. You're right. All right. Yes, indeed. And people, you got to take advantage of these things because when the money is gone, it's gone. But $6,500 for a home to weatherize it and everything, and that includes putting that tape around, doing windows, just upgrading your home. Go ahead. What else y'all want to let the listening audience know?
So again, this is Dee Dee Johnson-Reed. So we also have home buyers overview that's coming up on February 2nd at the Slyman Theater at 5 o'clock. And what we have is Louisiana Housing Corporation is going to come out, and they're going to talk to people who are not homeowners, who have always wanted to buy a home but never felt like they had like credit or they made enough money. They're going to help them to understand that they can still qualify for to buy a home. They can help people with a salary as low as $33,600 up to people, if there's 3 people in the household, $83,260. So what we're asking is for people to come out, get that information. They're going to be talking about down payment assistance. They're going to be talking about how you can get a home with no closing costs and all the different programs that are available. And so we're hoping that everybody will come out February 2nd at 5 o'clock. We'll have some snacks because we realize people are just getting off from work. We want you to come out and get this information because the only way we're going to be able to rebuild our communities is if we become homeowners. And we take all these vacant lots that are all around the city, and we start to rebuild and build homes in those communities to rebuild the neighborhood. So we hope that people will come out and get this information because there are so many programs out there that people can take advantage of, but they don't know. And so we're trying to get that information out to everyone so that they know, so that they can actually qualify for the program.
All right. Well, yes, indeed. We would love to have some flyers of that information because you could pass some out in some of the different areas, and they could do something on AOC, let people know.
Yeah, I'll pass it to the bulletin board if I could get access to one. Through Councilman Reed always sending me some good stuff. She always sending me some good stuff.
Okay. All right, ma'am.
So those were the 2 announcements we wanted to make today.
Okay.
Ashley and Bryson, y'all want to add anything else?
I just want to simply add, like we stated before, that we encourage everyone to come out and take advantage of this opportunity. The state has been granted, a good amount of funds, $30 million in funds to help people. So please come out and get the help while you possibly can.
Yes.
And while the funds are still available.
Exactly. Yes.
And that's for all of Louisiana. Anybody could come in, and as long as they have proof of income, utility bills, identification. What else am I missing? Identification.
And also proof of ownership of the home or a letter from their landlord giving them permission to make those changes.
Proof of ownership.
If they do not have that letter, we'll have it on hand, and we'll be there from 9 to 12. So we encourage individuals to come as early as possible if we need to review that list of documents they need so that they can return and ensure that the application is put in with us. Because, again, we're just helping complete these applications to then turn them into St. Mary Community Action Agency.
Yes, ma'am. Well, we wanna thank y'all. We appreciate it. Whenever, it's an open door policy when we have information out to the community. We highly appreciate that. In closing,
So one more.
Go ahead.
I don't know that we made it clear that this is for renters and homeowners.
Yes.
So you can take advantage of this program too. So if you live in an apartment, you're renting a house from someone, you can take advantage of this program as well. All we would need is for the landlord to sign a paper saying that they would allow you to have these changes made. And I can't imagine any landlord saying no because this is free.
Yes,
you're right.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, thank you so much, Councilman Reed, always giving us some great information on what's going on in the community, and hopefully we could get this information out on the Saturday show and the other shows that we've been doing this
Friday,
week.
I would announce it too.
Yeah.
I just need to have the flyer.
Yeah, we'll get it.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank y'all. Thank y'all so much.
There you go.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Councilman,
anytime.
Councilman Reed doing some good work, always sharing some information with the community.
And we have Councilman.
We're going to slide into the next segment.
Absolutely. And in the meantime, if anyone needs to get in contact with me, of course, y'all can contact me at 337-534-4020. Once again, 337-534-4020.
Yes. Thank you so much, Attorney Dwyer. We're gonna have some new child support laws on the book next time you come. Welcome, Attorney Lazar. Yeah, we were talking about the Louisiana legislative body. We're coming up with those new, advancing these new laws about having the issue of anyone who conceives a child. Now, yeah. So, I mean, Louisiana's in a bad economic state right now. I don't know one more law gonna help them. You want to grab that mic right here, the gray mic. Okay, welcome, Attorney Lazar. I think Sister Khadijah said I'm not privy to what you guys gonna be discussing today, or just in general.
I think it was just in general. We hadn't narrowed down any specific topics. I heard you mention, Brother Jay, that you've extended the invitation to numerous elected officials and public officials and what have you.
Yes.
As you know,
you always come.
I have never shied away from, as always, it's a pleasure to be here and to, share whatever knowledge I can with the, with the greatest listeners.
Yes.
And once again, the wonderful job that you and Sister Khadijah do, having this platform available is just invaluable.
Yeah, coming off the reins of Sister Janelle Shagwell, she always kept it rolling, no matter what.
Something that I'm very familiar with, that I spent a lot of time in.
I recall one thing. I know we talk about some serious issues. Remember when she had the senior citizen thing, when she put those things on, and I saw how much you were into when the young lady performed Corin Hawthorne. I remember that because I have that clip. I was out there. Yes. And to see her advance so much, and she's a close kinfolk of mine.
Oh yes,
out of Million Parish.
Absolutely amazing. I initially met her when she was probably 14 years old.
Yeah.
And obviously, she should have won that competition. I can't help. I can't get it up. She should have won that competition. But it's a popularity contest.
Yes. And okay, I'm gonna segue into some serious. I don't know what you guys gonna discuss, but I was reading an article about the issue with the downtown situation on Mardi Gras. I mean, what's your opinion on that?
Well, I haven't formed an opinion on it yet. Okay. In all honesty, I'm still collecting information.
Yeah.
That's why I raised the question at the council meeting last night as to exactly what was the rationale and the impetus behind it. And, the only thing we were told was that, so one of the public information officers for the Lafayette Police Department was interviewed last night because we were told that it was done at the request of the police department, public safety and what have you. Still some clarification that I need to get between now and final adoption in 2 weeks. So last night was just intro. So it's kind of customary for stuff to just roll through intro.
Yeah, I've seen the place across from the lady who the local media interviewed across from AOC where I be all the time, and I've seen, she has a thriving business. Yeah. And I understand what she was saying in the news piece that it would hurt because, the whole idea of having a nightclub business is to make money at the maximum time to make money.
Yeah.
And so if a lot of people are for businesses, so that would be my opinion. That
I can tell you that, and as you know, Brother Jay, there are always two sides to every coin, right?
Right.
And so one of the rationale that's been put forth, they also interviewed two club owners downtown that said that they're in agreement with it.
Okay.
Because they've been working all day. Mardi Gras is an all day thing. Obviously you start a lot early on Mardi Gras than you do any other day, of the week. So, there are two sides to every coin. Like I said, I still have some unanswered questions that I need some confirmation on. But certainly it's going to be it's going to be kind of hard to, I'm practical. I'm real. I'm a realist, Right. So if if there isn't a whole lot of opposition to it from the nightclub owners,
right?
If the police strongly advance it being a safety issue, then it's going to be very difficult to vote against it.
Yeah.
In all honesty.
Okay.
Now keep in mind what's done in New Orleans, right?
Right.
12 midnight at Mardi Gras, they clear the streets. Everything
shuts down.
Everything shuts down. They clear the streets. Now, certainly, I can understand the issue in New Orleans because you got hundreds of tons of garbage that you need to clean up before business opens that Wednesday morning. So you can certainly understand the rationale for it in New Orleans, but it's something that kind of we certainly weren't privy to until we saw it appear on until it was sent down from upstairs, right? So we're gonna take a strong look at it, like I do everything, and.
So
good morning.
Good morning. So the ordinance that they have right about now, where they say that they want you to go ahead and stop drinking liquor.
Shut
that's
down.
That's a proposed ordinance, right?
It just went through intro.
Oh, okay.
It just went through intro on last night, and it'll be up for final adoption in 2 weeks. So it's not final until Yeah.
You left something. Oh, that's
You're on
very
there.
important.
She's on air and telling you left $1 million. $1 million.
Okay. Caller, turn down your radio. Oh, so it hadn't passed. It's just something.
It was intro.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's a two-step process for all ordinances. First, we have to go through introduction, and then at the following meeting or 2 weeks later is when it's up for final adoption.
Okay.
So on that, let me say this, okay? I certainly encourage, the public to come forth. Let us know what their opinion is, and show up at the meeting. Right. Show up at the meeting. Show up at the meeting in 2 weeks.
Okay. Show up at the meeting in 2 weeks.
Weeks, yeah.
If we for or against.
Yes.
Okay. And it's just.
Well, the other thing is, there are several ways for the public to be engaged in the process, right? You could simply call the clerk's office. We don't necessarily advise that. Personally, I prefer to look in the audience and
seeing who's who.
Yeah, exactly. It's my personal opinion. I'm a hands-on kind of guy, right?
Yes.
So.
Okay, Carly, you have a question or a comment?
Yes, I got a quick comment from Mr. Lazard. Look, since you claim to be a realist and stuff, and I'm not talking about on your political side and everything else, as a man who's endorsed by black people to represent the black community, do you think in this time, with you and two other black council members, are the black people on the side of their towns getting represented right? Because don't majority rule, and you're always telling us to go vote, but yet and still some of y'all are voting for the same things that the white idealist wants, like the $9 million for the dog pound, the funding of the prisons, and then when we ask y'all questions, y'all play like y'all don't know what we talking about. Can you elaborate on that on your personal side, not your political side? Personal side, as a man and calling yourself a leader. Could you do that, please?
And really,
not a problem. I'll be more than happy to answer the question. It's not a problem. First, I want to touch on the money that was allocated for the animal shelter, since he brought it up. Okay, that was actually done by the Consolidated Council long before I came into office. Okay, that's the first thing on that. What was the other one? Forgot what the other question was, but speaking generically, okay. Yes, to answer your question, I do think that I am representing my constituents to the best of my ability. Does it mean I get it right all the time? No, I don't. I'm human, but it's certainly not for lack of effort or foresight.
And Mr. Lazar, the issue, the very controversial issue of the Fire and Civil Service Board, how much input does the council has on that whole thing? Because the perception in the community from the activists.
So that's something that we are taking a look at right now. So the Fire and Police Civil Service Board has a contract with the police department, right? That really governs how they operate and what the interactions are with the police department. One of the issues that's been raised is that the current contract takes away too much power and authority from the chief, right? That the union has too much power and authority. It's not something that was it first came on our radar, obviously, when the situation would happen with former Chief Glover, right?
Right.
So I have requested a copy of the contract. I don't know when it expires, but I've requested a copy of the contract, and I have all intentions of taking a look at it and seeing what authority we as the city council has, in that process.
Oh, okay. Caller, you're on. You have a question or a comment?
Yes, I want to comment on what Brother Lazard just said. Brother Lazard, yeah, when Chief Glover was the chief, what you just said, that had, in my opinion, effects when he was chief. If they want to change things now when it comes to that, and you're bringing that up to them because you want to see this contract, because they feel that that board has that much power over the chief, well, unfortunately for Mr. Glover, and for others who were before him, maybe, those who had to deal with this, that's the same problem that he had to deal with. And you're right. That should be looked into, because we don't even get to vote for our chief in this city, and we need to be able to vote for our chief in this city. And when we get that right back to vote for our chief, the voters will put the chief in there, and we want the chief to use his authority that's given to him when he sits in that seat and he wins the vote and he gets the title. We want him to make the ultimate decision because he's the chief. That's the future. That's when we get to elect our chief. I hope that's coming soon. The other thing I want to mention is this here. We, in this community, we struggle with so much.
Come on, Coach.
But there's so many things that we're struggling with. We have been struggling with them too long.
All right.
And it's time that we solve those things that have been just dragging along. And I know, Ms. Lazard, you are going to do your due diligence to do that.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Go ahead and speak. Yes,
thank you, Coach.
Thank you. And briefly, I want to segue back into that whole issue, and it's the controversial issue. How much input does the council, let alone with the mayor, the hiring of employees like the officer that got his job back?
So basically, all of the administrators, department heads, serve at the leisure of the mayor. Okay, that's just, I'm talking, like the directors, right? Director of Parks and Recreation, Director of Community Development, Public Works, the department heads or whatever, right? But that's really not unusual, right? That department heads serve at the leisure of the mayor. It's the same thing in most municipalities, right? As far as the police department is concerned, and the union, the city council has, I think, 2 appointments to the Fire and Police Civil Service Board. We have 2 appointments. The other appointments are made by the administration, and I don't know who has the other appointments, but the city council has 2 appointments to the Fire and Police Civil Service Board. But like I said, those interactions are governed by a contract.
Right.
And that's what I'm looking into as we speak. As far as what just happened with Officer Estrada, that's the process.
And may I say, coming from me and only me, is that you got the man that's in handcuff, and yet you're a whole big time police officer, and you felt threatened by him just giving you some words, telling you where to get off at. That's something is definitely wrong there.
But you know something though. But let me say this though: having an appointed chief would not have resolved or addressed that issue. Okay.
Okay.
In that situation, because the contract spells out what such a thing called a police officer's Bill of Rights. So when you combine that with that basically outlines what a police officer's rights are in terms of employment and disciplinary actions and what have you.
Well, and even going back to Chief Glover, the CEO, what's her name?
Dedra.
Cedra.
Who was the main one making
Cedra Weingart.
the decision to get rid of Chief Glover in that sense?
Yeah, it was her.
That
made the decision.
The CAO has a lot of
input.
A lot of input. A lot of I hate to use the word influence. I prefer to use the word influence. I don't like the word use the word power. I prefer to use the word influence. Okay.
No, we're gonna use the word.
But the fact of the matter is, the police chief serves at the leisure of the mayor. The police chief is appointed by the mayor. So, but all that goes to the charter, right?
Right.
We are operating, speaking for myself personally and this city council, we inherited this. We didn't create it, okay?
Y'all inherited it.
Now there are 3 current city council members that did serve on the consolidated council.
Right.
But the way the charter amendments work, right? There's a process you have to go through. Ultimately, a charter commission is established. The charter commission is what actually comes up with the proposed changes in the language. Then it goes to the voters. So that's what we have. So in order to make any additional changes to the charter, now, Sister Khadijah, I know you're ready to fire. I know you're fired up, but in order to make any additional changes to the charter, right? So the situation we have now is you need a majority vote because we still have this quasi-consolidated government. So you need a majority of both the city and parish councils. I don't know if y'all remember, but back in our first year, when Councilman Patrick Lewis was council chair, we formed a committee called the Protect the City Committee that studied the pros and cons of consolidation versus deconsolidation, whether it's advantage to the city or not, and what have you. And we actually had conversations about going forward with some changes. But the parish council need a majority of both. So the alternative is to do a petition drive. And I think last count, you needed 10,000 signatures, right? That's look, Sister Khadijah, like I said, I didn't write it. I didn't write it up. I'm just trying to do the best I can under it, right?
So
you do the petition drive, but going back to the comments, right, about having a elected police chief, right? I would add to that, and that's the city of Lafayette having its own mayor.
That's what I wanted to find
I've
out.
always, I've been advocating for that for 20 years, long before I even envisioned running for this office, right?
Correct.
Because I've always felt, first of all, you don't have true consolidation.
Right.
What you have is a merger of services.
Yes.
Okay? You don't have true consolidation. The other thing is, if you had true consolidation, all these other municipalities wouldn't have their own individual mayors and councils, right?
That's right.
That's something I've always advocated for.
Yeah.
I have never, ever, had any alternative versions or anything of that nature.
And when I understood, that what was going on, you could take funding from Lafayette residents and bring it all the way to these other little outside communities. And they're guggling it up, all of your money, the money that's needed, And then another thing, you want us to do a survey. You want us to do a survey of what you think is needed on our side of town. Why you need a survey? You can tell you ain't did nothing in some years and stuff. So
I don't know if I could
ask
ask
that like that. And then you see another thing. You see that Deidre?
I'm good.
Deidre took and she got on the stand, and I'm not talking about what I heard. I'm there. It's what I know. She said Mr. Glover performance. Who are you?
Well, she pleased with Estrada. That's just my comment. But
No,
listen,
she wasn't
you think
pleased with his
Lafayette
performance.
is when you see Lafayette, you see it's a tale of two cities? Because I visit the South Side all the time.
Well,
and I visit the North Side.
I don't think there's any doubt, and that's been well documented.
Infrastructure is
I don't know if y'all saw the series of articles that Andrew Capps, the reporter for the he's no longer with the Daily Advertiser, a series that he did in the aftermath of the George Floyd situation, outlining how Lafayette developed and how it got to be the way it is, right? Like when black folks were limited and could only live in purchase houses or lives in certain areas. Then you had the redlining by the banks. I think one of the major banks just settled a multi-billion-dollar lawsuit with the feds, I think, pertaining to redlining.
Redlining.
Pertaining to redlining. So, short answer to your question is definitely that there's no doubt about it. We've made some incremental progress. Made some small steps, but certainly we still have a very, very long way to go.
Okay. Caller, you have a brief question or comment for Mr. Glenn?
Yes. Good morning, Sister Khadijah. Good morning, Brother Jay, and good morning, Councilman Glenn Lazar.
Good morning.
The question I have to ask, fix the charter. I'm still detrimental on what happened on fix the charter. Do you think fix the charter was the best thing that happened through consolidation or however it went? And, I'm going to hang up and take the answer off the line.
Thank you so much.
Well, I think to answer your question, my answer is yes, because I honestly believe that giving the city of Lafayette its own city council that has exclusive, authority and control over city matters, I think it's a good thing. My problem with it is it didn't go far enough. And I understand why, in everything you do there, negotiations and compromises. I would have personally preferred that the city of Lafayette would have been given its own mayor as part of the process. I'm a strong believer, in its biblical quote that you can't serve two masters.
Right. Okay.
And I think that's what you have here. City of Lafayette needs somebody, a CEO whose exclusive
who's not a
responsibilities
who knows their job,
or to advocate for the city of Lafayette.
That's right.
Just like Karen Crowe, Youngsville, Scott, and Doosan has.
Yes. Caller, you have a quick question or comment, and you're the last caller.
Yes. I hear
Mr. Lazar
saying that they inherit that. You said they inherit all that mess, I'm going to call it. Well, what could he do? What could they do to get everything straight so that everybody gets a share of the pie? That's my question.
What I meant by that was the city of Lafayette is operated by what's called a charter, and it's like the constitution for the city of Lafayette. And there were some changes that were made to it that went into effect that were passed before we took office. So basically, there's a document called a charter that basically outlines, what the different duties and responsibilities are, the process, and what have you, in terms of what we can do to affect change. Just keep pushing. Just keep pushing, and I think we're doing that.
All right. Well, caller, you have 30 seconds, and your time is right now.
Okay. All right. So, brother, yes, Councilman Lazard, if you can hear me. My question is, what can the ACLU do in this matter? Because this affects the citizens, and the ACLU is an organization that represents. So can they come in here and help to dismantle consolidation?
All right. Thank you. All right. Mr. Glenn,
yeah, I can give a quick 30-second answer. Like
Yeah,
I'm going to
yeah,
say I'm going to say the same thing I said before, and then that there's a process that you have to follow to amend the charter. You need a majority of both the city and parish councils to call for the establishment of a charter commission. Short of that, you can do a petition drive to create a charter commission. That commission will be responsible for coming up with any proposed changes, which will then be submitted to the voters.
All right, well, this is where we want to thank you so much. I know you ran into another meeting. We want to thank all of the callers. We can't take no more. I'm so sorry. We can't take no more calls.
If you come at the 9 o'clock hour, if you're available, come again. We got so much to discuss.
And we have Ms. Eleanor that's going to come up and explain that desegregation order from St. Martinville. Caller, we can't take any more calls because we got to put on Brother Herbert with that hot reggae. But in closing,
So one of the main things that I want to touch on was to give basically an update, right?
Yeah. Right.
As you all know, there are these multiple investigations going on.
That's what I was.
That's what I was trying to get to, of the administration. On yesterday, it was revealed that the Louisiana Legislative Auditor's Office paid a visit to City Hall. Don't know all the details, or they kind of operate a lot like the FBI. They will neither confirm nor deny that there's an investigation until the investigation is complete.
Okay.
So we have our own independent investigation firm. We hired out of Baton Rouge back in December. That investigation is moving along. You have the Legislative Auditor's Office. I have no confirmation as to exactly what they are looking at, but I assume it's a lot of the same things that we're looking at. So hopefully within the next 2 months or so, we'll have some clarity, and I'll be able to come back with some more definitive information and hopefully some results and outcomes.
Okay. All right.
Definitely, we want to thank you, and
you so much.
Sorry we'll bring you in earlier. That's our fault.
Right, and when you see somebody that looks like you and everything, give a compliment. Put down all the unnecessary weapons, and our deepest sympathy to the family of the young man that was, the kid in New Iberia. Yes, indeed, 14-year-old. And all you could say is that the Vikings were one of the most brutal group of people in existence. If you feel like you want to kill somebody, why don't you go ahead and just look at yourself, in the mirror?